And Russell Wilson's return doesn't have to wait a whole long time. And, you know, there's something interesting to me about Russell Wilson. And it was Dominique who was the first person on this show to sort of bring this up, that there was a moment in time where it looked like Russell Wilson stood to inherit the league. He was going to become the face of the league. And it just never happened. So I think there's a legitimate question to be asked. Is that still possible for him to ascend to a level he's never quite reached in this fresh start in Denver?
He believes it is, and I believe that that's the reason he's not in Seattle anymore. Because there's a discussion to be had, right, about did Seattle prop him up early in his career or did he elevate them? And he got to a point where he's watching, you know, Tom Brady win extra Super Bowls, or he's watching Peyton Manning win a second Super Bowl, et cetera, et cetera. And he knows, Russell Wilson knows his place in the history of the game and the way he's perceived. And I think he realizes that if he doesn't win again, if he doesn't elevate to that spot you're talking about, that he'll be thought of as a guy that didn't do all he could. And maybe he only won because that Seattle team was so good. He does not want that to be the case. So what happens from here on out with Russell Wilson will determine that. And he's aware of that, and that's why he went to a new place.
I'm with you. He's a person who I think is very aware of his legacy, of his place in the pecking order of things, and perceives himself a certain way. Nico, you were making the point in our meeting this morning that there was an ascension in his career, and it feels like it's plateaued. The question is there another level he can take it to, and is he in the position to do it now?
Well, we'll find out soon, but when you look back at his career, you know, there was a projection of him just continuing to climb this ladder, and then the team built around him. You think about the defense that Seattle had, the running game, everything that they had was built to really help his situation at quarterback, and they won a lot, and they won a Super Bowl. And then, you know, he got the contract. A lot of the players on defense had to go away. The offensive line got older. You lose your running back. Things kind of fell apart. And then you look at the quarterbacks that kind of jumped up over him, ahead of him, and he kind of went down as far as his production is concerned. Yeah, I'm sure that he's excited for this opportunity, number one. It's a completely fresh start. They paid him anticipating him to climb back up the ladder, become one of those top 5 quarterbacks, and he has the pieces around him to do that. So, again, I think that he kind of leveled off there, and now it's a time for him to regroup and see if he can get back on top.
RC, you put this in an interesting way this morning, that there is something, it's sort of on the flip side of this discussion, that there's something Russell Wilson has always been able to count down that he will no longer be able to.
Yeah, Russell Wilson says he believes that he's one of the best. And I agree with that. Russell Wilson is going to be a Hall of Famer. But when Russell Wilson would trot onto the field on Sundays at 12 or Sundays at 1 o'clock to play in the NFC West, he was the best quarterback on the field. Whether he was playing the Rams, whether he was playing the San Francisco 49ers, or if he was playing the Cardinals, the Seattle Seahawks knew they had a decided advantage at quarterback every divisional game. That is no longer. When Russell Wilson is playing the Kansas City Chiefs, there aren't going to be people that's going to walk on the field and say, oh, you know what? The Denver Broncos have Russell Wilson. We're in trouble because all we have is Patrick Mahomes. Nah, if you got Patrick Mahomes, you say, we got the better quarterback. If you have Justin Herbert, you say, we got the better quarterback. If you have Derek Carr, especially with his weapons, the Las Vegas Raiders are probably saying, we have the better quarterback. And so Russell Wilson can feel like he's the best, but this is what we know. 6 times this year, he's going to have to go out and prove it. And when he doesn't, or if he doesn't, then there's always going to be that question. Was it Marshawn Lynch and the Legion of Boom, or was it Russell Wilson? And if he never does this, or he never wins another one, and if he can't go to Denver and change this team around, which we feel will be better with him than it was with Drew Lock, with Teddy Bridgewater, I think that will be a question that's answered by his inability to win a ring there if he does not.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.